Hey family, how you doing? How you feeling? What is up? Welcome back to another episode or a new episode of Intentional Conversations. Y'all, we changing the name. We'll talk about it later. But today we are not alone. We have a beautiful guest that I would love for you guys to meet and maybe add to the family. Like, could she come to the cookout or what? So Courtney Brown. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I'm going to just tell y'all a little bit about like why she's added to the family. So I seen her on social media as I see everybody because that's where everybody is. But what gravitated towards me to you, Courtney, and I'll actually speak to you, is just like your overall presence, how relatable you are. And I felt like we shared a little bit of the similar mission of being able to share our presence and working towards a similar goal. When I say similar goal, I really like the fact that you were lending out your, mini talks of how people can make it through the holidays, or being relatable and having shareable and relatable content, or me seeing myself in you and it's like, dang, okay, so I'm not alone. I'm okay. I'm a therapist as well, and she's going through the same thing, and I'm able to like laugh through your content. I'm able to smile through your content, and your content makes me think. So I was just like, yeah, we got to have you on here
Oh,
because
thank you.
hello. It only makes sense. So Courtney, thank you so much for being here. And please, if you can, introduce yourself.
Well, thanks for having me. Well, yes, my name is Courtney Brown. I am a licensed clinical professional counselor in the state of Maryland. I'm a national certified counselor, and I serve the DMV area, majority Maryland. And I'm the owner of Obstacles Under Recovery. So we're a Black mental health private practice.
Nice. Big up the DMV. You know, we got family out there. So I actually love the DMV area. We'll talk about that later. But so before we get into our icebreaker, kind of just want to speak a little bit about you and get a little bit about why you decided to take the therapy route, and also why obstacles under recovery. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So actually, I did not go to undergrad for therapy. No,
Okay.
I went to undergrad. Shout out to Morgan State. I went to undergrad for physical therapy, and
Oh.
I got into the field, and it was very political. Surprise!
Mm.
So it is clinical mental health, but it was just very political, and I was like, I'm not really feeling this. But I also was going on through some personal things, which I learned later was depression and grief. But I was seeing in my workspace as like the angry Black woman.
Mm.
And you know what we do? We get on Google and I'm like, okay, well, what degree can I get? And they're like, oh, based on what you put in, you'd be perfect for a therapist. And I'm like, and I was like, yeah, actually, yeah, I could see that.
Nice.
I applied, got in, and the rest was history. I also had a horrible experience with a therapist.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
So it's a
sorry.
combination of my personal experience, not having the best therapist in my personal life, and wanting to kind of bridge the gap because no one was talking about mental health. I lost two important people in my life, and no one sat me down and said, you want to talk about how you feel. It was just kind of like, okay, girl, everyone dies. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's
that's how I got into mental health, and I did my orientation. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the right space. This is where I'm supposed to be. As far as obstacles under recovery, that name came to me after a community outreach. During a little right before COVID, I had this bright idea to do a backpacks to the max event. So it's called Backpacks to the Max. And I partnered with a school, and we gave out backpacks to the community for free, filled with school supplies. And I was home, on the high. Once you finish an event and it's successful, you're like,
Mhm.
my creativity was going.
Yeah.
And I said, I need a name because I was using my name. And I was like, I need a name. And I was like, but I wanted to be an acronym. And I had all the things. It's like obstacles under recovery. I was like, because this is what it is. It's an obstacle that you're facing and it's under recovery. It's
Right.
not, it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Over you. It doesn't, win you. It is, you're something that you're recovering from, under recovery. Yeah. So that's where the name came from.
Nice. I like it. I
Thank you.
like it a lot. First, I want to say I'm so sorry for your losses, and I'm so happy that you decided to turn your pain into purpose. That's huge,
Thank you.
of course. And yeah, I'm listening. I'm just like, why is it that when like I hear this on social media a lot, when Black women go through something, it's like you don't need another degree.
Okay, listen, we're gonna Google and we're gonna say, what else can I get?
What can I
If
do?
I need.
So I definitely understand that because I definitely did that during the pandemic. That's why I'm a therapist today. I'm just like, all right, what else can I do right now? For sure. And I love that name. I think that it is like it is somewhat of like a nostalgic name because it's like how like the MySpace days where we were like we're under construction or like what I mean,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like yeah, we're under recovery, like we're on the way, but it's not becoming us. It's not like
Yeah. Not letting our obstacles define us.
mm-hmm,
And knowing that you can get through it. And regardless of the journey that you're on, one, you're going to have obstacles because it's life,
mm-hmm,
but you don't have to succumb to them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alrighty, so we have a lot of topics on the horizon for us, but as you all know, we start all of our podcast episodes with an in-session game. Today we are mixing it up because we usually randomize them, so we are going to randomize them, but we do have a card in particular that Courtney would like to discuss. So we're going to do two cards today, which we love it. So the first card that you picked out was, and granted, this was randomized just off camera. So I
Yeah.
will say that. So this card says, do you feel like we handle conflict in a healthy way? So being a therapist, how would you respond to a couple if they came to you saying, I don't know if I handle conflict in a healthy way?
I think, and I'll say in this day and age that we're in now,
Mm.
a lot of times we look for tit for tat
Mm.
communication or conflict, right? He didn't text me, I'm not going to text him. And oh, he took 5 hours to text me, I'm going to take 10 hours to text. That
Mm-hmm.
type of dynamic. However, that does not solve our problem.
Yeah.
It typically adds to it.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that I noticed when we're talking about conflicts, two people choose two different things. Don't say anything,
Mm-hmm.
internalize it. It can be a internalizing it as something I did wrong, or let me call my girlfriend and tell her about it. Let me fester these feelings that I have, and I'm not going to say anything. And then what happens with that is that I noticed that a lot of people, um, I call it like the iceberg effect.
Mm-hmm.
So under the water, it's this huge iceberg. So all the things that we've been putting to the side, we ain't been talking about it. We haven't been speaking on it. We've been talking to our girlfriends who can't help because they're not the person that we're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that one little thing happens, the tip,
Mm-hmm.
and you blow up.
Mm-hmm.
And your partner's looking at you like, well, it's not that big. But no, what you're really upset about is all the things that we done left behind and we haven't said anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people say, "Oh, I just want to keep the peace and I don't want to start anything and I don't want to," but that's doing more damage to the relationship than good.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking on it should always be the top priority. Now, how you speak on it, when you speak on it, all matters. It all plays a role. But I've noticed that that is typically our go-to. Let's avoid it. And one of the biggest things with relationships, platonic or intimate, you have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I feel like you're speaking to me, girl. I'm just like, all right, hold on. I got something in my head, but I've been trying to wait to see when's the right time to say it. And low key, you telling me, say it, talk about it right now.
Yeah, talk about it for now. I think, time and place. If
Yeah.
you are someone that feels like you're heated and you can go there, take some time to cool off. But the worst thing we can do is, let's say something happened November, and
Mm.
here it is December, and I'm like, well, you remember when you did this? The first thing they're probably going to say is, why you didn't bring it up then?
Yeah.
Why you didn't tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't do anything if we don't know. So that's one of the most important things that I try to tell my couples clients and my individual clients. Speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
Speak on it sooner than later, so that we can discuss it and we can move on. We spend too much time arguing about the things we should have said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Ooh, thank you for that. We're gonna do another one. So this time I am going to shuffle them on camera so that we can, they know. But I did, like I said, it was a random question, but it's just something that, something that wanted to did you wanted to speak about before. So I'm going to spread them out and I'm gonna bring them up so that you can actually see them.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put my finger. I'm just trying to spread them out a little bit more. My hand is not that big. So you gotta tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, so we're gonna go to this one. This
Okay.
one. Okay.
Oh Lord.
This one says, do you feel like I support or challenge your mental health? Explain.
Oh.
Okay, so if a
Okay.
client, huh?
Go ahead. Say it again.
What is that?
Yeah. Say that question again.
So the question says, do you feel like I support or challenge your mental health? Explain.
Okay.
So, as a therapist, what are some things that if a client came to you and said, I think that this person is challenging my mental health, what do you feel like some of the examples that they will be saying um, that you will be able to say, like, yeah, actually, they are probably challenging your mental health, and then maybe like, what are some things that you would let them know, maybe to change or support?
Um, I think one of the biggest things I hear walking on eggshells,
Mm,
um, feeling like you can't come to them.
yeah.
Um, I think a little bit of feeling as though you're always the problem. You can never
Mm,
do anything right.
mm, yes.
Um, Also minimizing your feelings. It's not that big of a deal. Oh girl, you being dramatic, or oh boy, you so sensitive. So
Yeah.
minimizing, um, and emotional manipulation.
Mm,
That's
that's a big one.
a
That's
big
a
one. Those
big
are
one.
the few that popped in my head. And I think emotional manipulation definitely goes hand in hand with minimizing or deflecting. So I'm coming to you to talk about my problems, and you're like, well, you should have did it this way. You should have did it that way. Right. One of the things that I know with couples and individuals, and I like to say that because a lot of the times I work with the individual party for the couple,
Mm, mm-hmm.
which is also important. And one of the things that I've noticed is that if you don't have a relationship, platonic or not, is a two-way street. You can't do it all. You can't do it all. You can't. The analogy I like to use is sometimes you are the gardener, right? So you're doing the work, you're watering, you're doing all that. And sometimes you have to be the garden. You have
Mm,
to allow someone to pour into you. And sometimes we don't like to hear, you like that?
yeah.
I came up with a roll on the top of my head one day in the session. I was like, I'm gonna write that down because that was a good one.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be the garden and you have to allow people to nurture you and pour into you. And that's what makes a relationship cultivate and flourish.
Mm,
So for a client that came to me and said some of those things, my first thing would to be process what you're feeling. How do you feel about this?
mm,
And is this identifying, is this a relationship that we want to keep. Because some relationships, although you may love this person down, they may not be the best for you. Right. So you want to acknowledge, like, is this something that you want to pour into? Because it's going to take some work. But then also identifying communication. Are we communicating? And if you're doing the work and you're doing the work and nothing is changing, then my next question typically for my clients is, if nothing changes, is this beneficial to your mental health, well-being, or not? It's not my job to tell you what to do, but it is my job to point out patterns. And we can't control anybody, but we can give them, hey, this is the blueprint. I let you know that I don't like when you do this, or I feel like you minimize my feelings when you do this. They can either change or they can keep doing what they want to do. And then you have a choice what you want to do with that.
Listen, I think that's the end. I think we can wrap it up because how do I even follow that message? Hello, I love that.
Listen, relationships are so hard. They're so, well, let me say, they can be so complex. And I feel like as humans, sometimes we make them more complex than they have to
And
be.
they are, yes.
Yeah, if we just talk and we are honest about our feelings, we can shift out some of the obstacles that people have in relationships.
Agreed. I think that it's important also to be honest with yourself before you can actually bring it to the relationship because there's certain things that you know is not working out or that, and to your point, like sometimes you got to close that door. You
Yeah. And to that, sometimes you have to also be accountable.
know?
No one's perfect, myself included. We're not perfect. So I don't want people to listen and hear, oh, she said communicate. So I'm about to tell you about yourself in all the ways. But if you talk to this man crazy every 5 minutes, you also got to check in with yourself too.
Exactly.
Right. So it is a two-way street for sure.
Listen, ladies, we have to be accountable. I know it's hard. I know
We
it's hard.
be accountable. We have to.
We definitely have to. Okay, so I want to get into the topics now. One of the topics or the biggest theme right now is the new year. We are wrapping up 2025, which means a lot of things to a lot of people. Everybody is kind of closing out their goals or figuring out or realizing that they haven't even started their goals. And we're at the end of the year. So I kind of want to touch on the new year. So one of the things I want to touch on with the new year is the importance of closing different chapters as we enter and open a new one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what do you think? Like, do you think is healthy to, like, what kind of healthy habits or patterns do you feel like is appropriate to even into the new year? Or do you feel like we should work on in the last like week or so, close them all and start over and revamp and become a new version of ourselves?
No, I wouldn't say close them. I think that you don't have to wait until the new year to
Mm,
start to work on yourself or set a goal. You could do it right now. Start today, and it can go into 2026, right?
mhm,
But I will say, and I am a faith person, so I hope that is okay.
mhm. No, go ahead.
Something that has been coming up a lot in my personal life, my professional life, but also in my church home is looking in the past and knowing how to move forward. And the analogy that a minister gave was you cannot walk to the front door if you're looking at the back.
Mm,
So if you're facing the back of the room that you're in and trying to walk to the front door, you're trying to go forward, right? But you're literally looking in the back. You are not going to get there safely. You're going to bump into some things. You may trip. You may even go slower
mm,
because
yeah.
constantly focusing on the past.
Mm,
It's in the past for a reason,
oh.
right? And it's not to say that, we can't learn from it. No, we should. However, I do think that every day that goes on, we have to take from it and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You can find yourself repeating a lot of cycles looking in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say going into 2026, be clear on what you want this year to look like. And I tell my clients, aim for the stars. I want you to be as ambitious as you possibly can.
Love that.
Right? Don't think about, girl, but this can't really happen. And girl, but I'm still, If you drink, put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And be intentional. If you say, okay, I want to lose 25 pounds, be intentional. Is what you're doing right now working towards that goal of you losing 25 pounds? Are you
Mm-hmm.
going to Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
or are you going to cook at home?
Mm-hmm.
Are we eating a lot of fried chicken or are we cooking more baked chicken? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Being intentional about the goal that you set. So I think that's my biggest thing. Like set your goals whenever. Don't wait for the new year. But every action you have, think about, is this going to help me towards the goals that I set for myself?
I love that.
Girl, listen.
Listen. I
Because
love
I set
that.
a goal and I was just like, girl, you haven't done any of that. It's okay. It's going to just move on. 2020.
I love that, and I love that analogy because it's just like I'm here and I'm picturing it, and you literally can't. And I think that one of the biggest things that you just said, or that stuck with me, is that you won't get there safely. Um, and so if you're not looking ahead and you keep looking at the back, and you do you really have your best interests? Because you're not going to make that. You could be stepping in holes. You can't even see that you're repeating the same cycle because you're looking back. You probably should have went right and you went left, and left is the loop. Like you're not really paying attention to what's happening next.
And even to that point, sometimes we have to really be real with ourselves and identify, is the past, me holding on to the past, is it impacting me fully experiencing the possibilities of my future?
Hmm.
Because you could be talking about, I love this example. You could be talking about how Bobby did you wrong. He just dogged you out. And you got Chris in front of you doing all the things. And you can't
Mhm.
see it because Bobby tore you up. And I get it. Been there, done that. Trust me, I got a Bobby of my own.
I think we all got it, Bobby.
Okay. But when Chris comes and Chris is doing all the things, we can't allow Chris to be punished for what Bobby did.
Hmm.
And vice versa. You know, ladies, I know I'm on y'all because I can relate. But even for men, when that woman comes and she just tears you up, sometimes it's even your mom, tears you up. And then you get a woman that gives you all the things that you say you want.
Mhm.
Are you going to block the blessing
Mhm.
because we're focusing on what happened in the past?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
That, and I'll even go one further, that you can't see the blessing that you have in the future because you're still holding on to that past.
Yeah.
You still want that past to work out, and you still going through the same things and questioning yourself why it's not going the way you want it, and it's not never gonna go the way you want it, and now you're not even seeing the full potential of the next person because you're still there, still looking back.
Oh, 100%. And it's easier said than done. Let me not say
Yeah.
it's a walk in the park. It's hard.
Yeah.
It is necessary. It
Mhm.
is necessary to, be at peace with this is what happened. It made me feel the way it made me feel. And know that I'm never going there again.
Mm.
Because now
Yeah,
you got more wisdom now. You know,
exactly.
okay, this you reminded me of Bobby.
Mm.
Bobby did this, Bobby did this, and here you are. Okay. Now instead I gave Bobby 5 years. This time I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah.
You're not getting a year out of me.
You're not getting weak. Nah.
Listen, listen, you better hope you get a day.
Hello.
And we move on. And we move on. Listen.
Agreed. Oh, so I think that's a great segue to knowing the difference between boundaries, setting boundaries and setting rules.
Oh.
So you had a good video on this, and I was just like, wow, this is a good thing to talk about because, well, I'll let you kind of speak about like what you feel like is the difference before I just dive back in.
Okay. So boundaries is what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It controls you. A lot of us, and myself included before I, got into this field, would be like, stop doing this. That's a boundary. No, we love it. That's a boundary.
Right.
Not a boundary. So a boundary controls you. It dictates what you are going to tolerate or how you're going to move, right? A rule dictates how someone else is going to move. So the example I like to give people is a boundary is I will not teach while you're talking. So you can talk. I'm going to sit here and do my favorite teacher silence. Just go look around, right? But a rule would be don't talk while the teacher's talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to control your behavior, right? So one of the things that came up in session when I gave this exact example is like, oh, but they're kids. I'm like, yeah, well, kids, they need rules.
Mm-hmm.
They need rules. But we're talking about our intimate 40, 50-year-old relationship. No, they need boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I like to tell people your boundary is I. I led. Rule, you led. That makes sense?
Yes, I'm like thinking like I like it. I like it. So why do you feel like it could be so hard for people to set boundaries and easy to set rules?
Oh, well, within our culture, boundaries is not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk.
Talk,
We're
talk about it, Courtney.
just now talking about boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we did not grow up with having the autonomy to say I'm not, I'm this, you're in my personal space, I'm going to take a step back, or I'm not going to talk about that conversation with you, or I'm not going to keep entertaining this conversation if you continue to yell. We Girl, you sit
One.
and be quiet,
That's
okay?
the
Okay, you just sit there and go hug Uncle Joe. Go
one.
give him a hug, make him happy. You gotta share, you gotta be nice. That
Oh.
was the norm for us. So now we're getting into this space where we're having more autonomy, which I think is great. But I also think, to your second point or question, it's easy for people to set rules because it dictates someone else. It
Mm.
requires someone else to do the work,
Yeah.
right? Because I can set the rule as I'm not going to teach while you're talking and continue to do it.
Mm.
Y'all talking. I'm like, okay, boys and girls, okay, get your attention. It now requires me to follow up with that boundary,
Mm.
right? If I say I'm going to end this conversation if you continue to curse at me and you continue to curse, now it's on me to actually do something about it,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That's a lot for people, right?
Yeah.
Especially if this is a new thing and
Mm.
we have not been accustomed to advocating for ourselves and
Right.
standing up for ourselves. So it's easier to say, I want you to stop cursing at me.
Yeah.
And then we get upset when they don't.
Ah.
So it's easier to do that. But the power of it is, and what I like to tell clients is, you also have to keep your own boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say, I'm not going to talk to you while if you're continuing to curse, you got to stand on that.
Yeah.
You got to stand on that. Because if you don't, that's just teaching them she don't care about her boundaries. She going to say she don't want to do this, but if I just keep doing it, she'll do it.
I'm gonna get away with it.
I'm going to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Think about the people that, borrow money from and they don't
Mm.
give it back. And then they
Oh,
again, give them more. They like, oh, bet. She ain't going to ask me about that $20 I just lent it. Cool. I'm going to keep doing it.
that is insane behavior, by
Listen, don't ask me for money. If you're not my sister, my niece,
the way.
don't ask me for money because it's going to be a no.
I just heard somebody say like how hard it is for them to like stay 10 toes down. How like they was just like, look, I only got 3 toes down. Like I'm not, and it ain't even the strongest toes.
Listen,
And so that just sounds like one, staying true and staying and grounded in your no, which is going to lead to our next question. But being able to stay grounded in that, and also to your point that you made earlier of holding yourself accountable, of us, the women and people being able to hold themselves accountable, because it sounds like when you make the boundaries, it's you that has to make the changes. And throwing boundaries, throwing that word around, it's like, oh, you're not respecting my boundaries, but in reality, you only set a rule.
Yeah, you never set one.
You never set one. Hey family, thank you so much for watching, but make sure that you are subscribed. Be sure to like, comment, and share. And if you're listening, leave a 5-star review. Back to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for people that are struggling with boundaries, I invite them to sit down with yourself and think about 5 instances where you are frustrated, you're overwhelmed, you're doing something that you don't want to do, you're saying yes when you really want to say no. Think about all of those moments and then try to come up with a boundary, not a rule. I will, not
Mm-hmm.
a you should.
I like it. We
Right?
got homework, y'all.
Y'all got homework. Listen, and I'm gonna be looking for it. So hit me in my DMs. Say, Courtney, I did my boundaries. Great, love that for you.
Listen, flood her DMs and let her know like it works.
Yeah, because it's a skill. You have to practice it. So something that I've noticed, people are like, "Oh yeah, I set a boundary." I'm like, "Actually, no, you didn't." Let's talk about what that is first, and then keep setting it. They didn't listen. Okay, now what you gonna do? Because they didn't listen. Now what?
And I think that's the it factor of like, okay, it didn't work that time. And they come and they say, well, I set a boundary, they didn't follow it. So how do you work on like reinforcing that?
Reinforcing it can look a few different ways. So let's go with I'm trying to give you a good one.
Mhm.
The boundary of I will not talk about my reproductive plans.
That's a good one.
Listen,
That's a good one.
I won't discuss my reproductive plans. So that's the boundary. And here come your aunt, girl. When you gonna have babies, and when you gonna settle down because you get old. I'm not going to talk about my reproductive plans, auntie. Oh, girl, but we family. We all here. I understand that. But I'm not going to talk about my reproductive plans. Okay. And then we can do 2 things. Disengage. Oh, you keep asking. Let me go ahead and get up out of here. Right. Another one. Change the subject. Another one. And this is where we struggle with saying no. um if maybe not this topic, the reproductive one, but let's just say like, oh, I'm not available after 10 o'clock, but I am available on this day, this day, this day. So give an alternative, right? Because sometimes when people hear boundary, they automatically think it's a no.
Yeah.
A boundary is essentially allowing you to know when you should say yes and when you should say no. That makes sense. That answer your question.
Yes,
I'm
yes, and actually
certified yapper girl, so I just
no, please. I love it. Keep it coming. I love it. And it leads to my next question of like, why do you feel like saying no is so difficult or can be so difficult?
it go back to our culture, girl, how we were raised, how we were brought up. You couldn't say no.
Mm-hmm.
You could not say no. And I did a workshop earlier this year on the art of saying no, and we talked about a few things. One, how we were brought up. So think when you're forced to share, when you're forced to give hugs as a child, right? That is conditioning us at an early age to give in to people's needs. Don't
Yeah.
care how you feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Give in to people's need. My favorite one is, oh, you didn't want to give him a hug. Look at him. He's so sad. You need to make sure give him a hug to make him
I
happy.
don't give a damn.
So now you've let me know that in order to make people happy, I have to sacrifice my own feelings, my own beliefs, and just give you what you want.
Yeah.
And you've birthed a people pleaser.
Oh,
Congratulations. Yeah. So I think it's cultural. It's what we see. Also, no shade to our parents' generation and the generations before us, but they were also conditioned to please,
yeah.
right? So it is generational what we saw, um, but also it's uncomfortable
Yeah.
because a lot of people think that it comes with confrontation. They believe that it's going to escalate to something different, and it doesn't have to be that.
Yeah.
Um, it is a it is a powerful thing to know that you can still say no, and nothing. The world keeps going,
Yeah.
right? The world just keeps going, but it is hard. It
Mhm.
is hard. So one of the easiest ways that I give people um, a trick is it's easy to go from a yes. It's easier to go from a no to a yes
Mm.
than from a yes to a no,
Yeah.
right? So think hairstylist. It's easy for me to say, no, girl, I can't squeeze you in today.
Mm.
And then you get that phone call. Actually,
Yeah.
can. I can't. As opposed to, yeah, girl, come on in. Where you
Mm.
at? Yeah, I can't take you no more.
Right. You get that hey boo text.
Hate it. Listen, that's why I do here. I hate a hey boo text. No. So yes, so that is one of my tips that I give people. It's easy. Say no first.
Mm.
Say no first, and if you change your mind, you can always go to a yes.
Yeah.
And do small no's. Small no's first. Hey, you want to go to lunch with us? Oh no, thank you.
Yeah.
Small
I
no.
like it. I think people should just try it. Once I learn how to say no, please. I've
Yeah,
been knowing left or right.
listen. And then once you know that it's not as big as we make it out to be in our
Mhm.
heads, no shade to us. And I say us because you're not alone.
Yeah.
We're not as important as we think we are.
Ooh. You
Listen,
need to run that back.
we not as important as we think we are. So a lot of times, like people are like, "Oh, she's gonna get so mad if I say no, and she's gonna be upset." And da, 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 da. She might not care. She might be like, "Oh, girl, it's cool," and like call somebody else.
Hmm.
It's okay, but it's a skill like anything else, because it's not something that we were brought up on. So I really encourage, especially new parents, to allow your kids to say no. They don't want to hug so and so. They don't have to, right? They don't want to share this particular toy. They don't have to. It teaches them the autonomy that it's okay to say no, just to advocate for yourself and to stick up for yourself.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you so much. So going back to the new year, everybody's like kind of talking and have different viewpoints of the new year. So how do you what would you say for people who are one trying to stay motivated within the last quarter of December and into the new year? And then how would you suggest people keep up that momentum?
Mm. How to stay motivated? Well, that's so many answers come to my mind. But one of the most important ways is to remember your why.
Mm,
Remember
nice.
the big picture, right? But then also your motivation is led by your consistency
Mm-hmm.
and your grace. In my opinion, you may hear a lot of other things, but in my opinion, you got to give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
So if let's just say working out, probably speaking to a glass house, listen, that you want to start working out and Monday come and you don't work out, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't
Mm,
keep downing yourself that you didn't do it because you have Tuesday,
yeah.
Wednesday, and Thursday, and so forth. Right.
Mhm.
So I think that would be my biggest thing. What was your other question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's so what I heard you answer was how to stay motivated, and my next one was how to keep yourself grounded and staying motivated into the new year. Like how do you stay focused?
Oh, for me, mine would be community. Tell people about your goals. You know,
Ooh.
share it with people. And I don't just mean anybody. You you know the people that you can share your goals with that will check in on it. Um, I have a good friend. Well, he's like a bonus dad, and I told him that I was going to write a book.
Mm.
Every time he see me, he asks about it. How's the book going? It's gonna keep me on my toes. I'm like, okay, cool, because somebody is waiting on this book.
Mhm.
So let me tap in, right? So I think telling people, keep having your community, but also again, revisiting your why. Why did you start? Why did you even want to do this in the first place? Um, and your reason. My nieces are the reason I do a lot of the things that I do because they look up to me.
Oh, I love
So yeah, shout out to my niece. I love them. My nephew too. I can't leave him out, but my nieces, they the girls.
that.
So I do a lot of the things that I do to inspire them and to let them know you can go out here and do this. You don't have to go the traditional route, despite all that I did. You don't have to
Mhm.
do that. You want to work for yourself, you can do that too.
Mhm.
Want to quit jobs and go get a new one, you can do that because I did that too.
Mhm.
Listen, I quit a job in a heartbeat.
Oh. So I gotta go. This is a
Yeah.
lot.
See y'all later. It's not what I thought it was gonna be. Yeah. So remembering your why, but also like I said before, I did say this before, taking baby steps. I
Mhm.
think sometimes we try to do all the things all at once. And I'll go back to like the weight loss thing, because I hear it a lot.
Mhm.
We try to start working out, drink more water, take out the chips, and don't eat this. And then you get so upset because you done took out everything and then you're fumbling on it because it's a lie. Master one thing and then master nothing, another thing, right? So for me, ginger ale was my kryptonite.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds good too.
Listen, a nice cold one too.
Ooh.
You couldn't tell me it was just making me feel better from
It's
inside out.
medicine.
I'm
Love.
telling you, listen. So my goal was okay, let's work on the intake of your ginger ale. So I went from drinking all ginger ales with all my drinks to drinking water. Now I can barely stomach a whole ginger ale.
Mm.
It's I feel like it's too strong for me now. So now I just drink water. Now I can add on something else and then
Mm.
something else. Sometimes we are so ambitious, which I love that for us, but it can be to our own detriment.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when we are not able to accomplish all the things all at once. We start to feel down and we feel like, why am I even doing this? But taking it day bit by bit.
Mhm.
What's that little saying? You can't eat an elephant in one chunk, one bite. You got to take bites, something like that. You,
Um,
you never heard that?
no, I've
It's like
never
you
wanted to
can't
eat
eat
an
an elephant. I know. But they're like, how do
elephant.
you eat an elephant? And they be like, we don't know. You like you gotta take bits by bit. It's like you can't take a whole big chunk of an elephant. So more of the story, you gotta take bits by bit.
I like
Put it in the
it.
comments like, girl,
I
you
get that
know.
now. No, I get it. I get it. Um, I think what's also important about what you're saying is to stay off of social media. Oh my goodness, social media will have you thinking that you need to buy 1,001 supplements so that you can lose weight tomorrow. Um, Changing your diet. I mean, they do such a good job. I am falling. Well, I have fell victim to it, and sometimes I'll be in and out of that. Because it's just like it's so convincing, but it's like unrealistic. If you sit down and actually speak to the people who went through their journey, first off, you will realize that they did not even do that. They promoted something that they probably never have done. And it's like, something that you just gotta really pay attention to and understand, like, all right, everybody's journey is different.
Yeah, everyone's journey is different. Everyone's experience is different, and it's a million ways to get to one location.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you don't have to take the journey I took,
Yeah.
but you may find a journey that works for you, and you still get the same outcome. Yeah.
Agree.
Social media will have you contemplating life.
Yeah.
You
For
are
sure.
comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 50. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like 5-10 seconds a day a chapter.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what else that chapter looks like.
Exactly.
So if you find yourself comparing, especially on social media,
Mm-hmm.
um, unplug for one. But two, you may need to reboot your algorithm. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love social media, but I sometimes will have to go. I'll go to a particular comedian and I'll watch all of their videos
Mm.
just to rewire what's being pushed to me
I
because
like.
it's easy to go down that tunnel of comparison. So yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I actually have two pages. So I have my business page and a personal one. And sometimes I spend all of my time on the business one because the personal one is trash. Like it just, I follow and I've just done so much things that is just like not conducive to my mental health. Whereas the business one is like all mental health, all like, you know what I mean? I have cultivated that balance of like, what is it that I'm consuming? Because you're right. It'll have you contemplating life in itself. Like,
Yeah.
have I been doing this wrong the whole time? Or
Yeah, don't get me started. Yes, you will start to just contemplate everything and question if you're doing it right or if you
Mhm.
are where you're supposed to be,
Mhm.
right where you're supposed to be right now at this moment.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the last topic, and then we're gonna kind of like switch gears before we close out. But I do want to talk about what a lot of people like to talk about, which is like dating in 2025. So I wanted just to touch on that, especially because we opened this conversation with the couples edition. So I wanted to know if you had anything to add, and in particular, just like being a therapist, trying to date, and just dating, and while also like kind of focusing on you and your goals.
Dating, but also focusing on you and your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Essential. It is necessary. I first of all, dating 2025 is like the Olympics. It's very interesting. But I think it's very important to have your individuality in
Mm-hmm.
dating. Even past dating in relationships, you
Yeah.
need that individuality. You need that time with your boys and your time with your girls, time with your hobbies, because it's easy to be consumed. And I think that's the easiest way to lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Look up and you haven't talked to your homegirls and you haven't kicked it with your homeboys, or you used to work out all the time and now you don't.
Yeah.
It's what keeps you grounded. So I know, the girls like to say, I want to live in your skin. Yeah, I don't put you in my skin. I want you in your skin. I want to be in mine. And I want us to be able to come together and we have a magical time.
Yeah.
Also, you go out into the world and you explore so you can come back and tell me all about it.
Yeah.
For me, it's nothing more attractive than seeing an ambitious man that talks
Mm.
about the things that just brings joy to him. I
Yeah.
love that, and I will hope that he will love to see that in me. We don't have to share the same interests. That'd be
Agreed.
great if we do. We have a couple things in common we could do together. But individuality is important. And when I notice individuals having conflicts within their relationship, that's one of the questions that I tend to ask. When's the last time you kicked it with your girls or your boys? When's the last time you like to go to Pilates? When's the last time you did that? When's the
Yeah.
last time you did salsa dance or whatever things you like to do?
Mhm.
Because it's easy for us to be so consumed. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying you can't, be with your partner, you can't go out and do salsa with them, but you have to find some balance.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important part, just finding some balance.
I agree. I agree. I'm like, why is it so easy to be caught up in that relationship where it's just like, you thinking it's like, well, you know what? I ain't seen my girl in a while. I don't know what, she got into this new relationship and we ain't even, touch bases. So why is it so easy to become lost?
I don't even know if it's a correct answer for that.
Mhm.
My thought process is maybe because of um the chemicals that's often released in our brain to feel good.
Yeah.
Feel good with our partner, and it's nice and it's cozy and it's great.
Mhm.
But what I have noticed is the thriving relationships, the very healthy ones, they have a life.
Yeah.
They go out and they live. And some of it is together and some of it is apart. Um, it's very easy to lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I pray that no one wants me to lose myself.
Yeah. For
Want me
sure.
to lose myself. So
Mhm.
yeah, but it's as I've heard, dating is really hard, but I think it's hard because we're not communicating and or we're focused on what we've endured in the past.
Mhm.
I don't want to. I don't know if you've seen this meme. Like if she a nurse, if she this, if she that, I don't want to. That's you living your past. Some nurse that hurt you,
Exactly.
and you're thinking all nurses are the same.
Hmm. Oh
Overgeneralized.
my God. Is that like the same thing with like zodiac signs?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, you this, if you that, I'm like, okay.
Thank you for that. So I do want to switch a little bit and talk about you. I want to talk a little bit about what you do and how you've been able to implement your business into school programs and workshops and things like that. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, yes. So I am an approved vendor for PG County Public Schools, which just allows schools to purchase or consult with me on various topics. So I've done school events, autism nights, parent nights, where we are focusing on wellness education. But in addition to providing professional development to staff, maybe workshops to the students that focus on wellness education. So that can look like de escalation strategies for teachers to implement to their classrooms. That can look like self esteem workshops for students,
Nice.
parent engagement, attendance issues, truancy, things of that nature, where they're able to have a licensed professional come in and talk about some of these things as it relates to mental health. Because unfortunately, we are currently facing a youth mental health crisis within our school systems. And unfortunately, the school systems are requiring teachers to do it. They're not there to do that. They're there to teach. They're
Mm-hmm.
not there to put out these many mental health crises and these fires that pop up because of what our children are dealing with. So it was really important for me to touch bases with schools so that we can allow teachers to do what they're here to do.
Yeah.
Teach our next generation, but also to provide mental support for them because they're burnt out, because they're doing all the other things in addition to teaching,
Mm-hmm.
but also to support students. Sometimes students don't have a safe space to talk to in the schools and without this in and out of the schools. Right. So I really was passionate about that. And as a former educator, I saw it firsthand. So I have a different perspective than someone that's never touched foot in a classroom that just happens to be a mental health therapist. No, I actually taught. I actually understand the importance of parent engagement and calming corners and things of this nature. So yeah, that is what I do in the school systems. I'm hoping to just go county by county.
Nice. Congratulations on that. I think that's huge and definitely needed and necessary.
Thank
So
you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
definitely congratulations on that for sure.
Thank you.
So we are wrapping up, but I want to ask you one last thing, and that is, what would you plan, or what do you plan to be intentional about within the year of 2026?
That is a really good question.
Thank you.
Um, what do I plan to be intentional about? Ah, I plan to be intentional about the clients that I bring on.
Mm.
and the jobs that I accept.
Okay. I
Yeah.
like it.
I want to be intentional. I think it's very easy to hop into, I'm just going to accept all of the clients that seek me.
Mm.
Um, but every client that I have, I truly believe that they were brought to me for a reason.
Mm.
So I want to continue to do that, but also not, I want to continue to say yes to the projects that align with me and my business.
Yeah.
Um, if it don't align, I can't, because it'll show in my work.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thank you for that.
Of course. And I like that response. I think that and I think I had said this earlier, not here, but like, in a different video of just like how we're able to, overwork ourselves and just, saying yes to certain things and not even analyzing it and understanding if it even aligns with us. Just making sure that we're not falling into a scarcity culture.
Yeah, it's so easy to get wrapped up in it, but I want to be very intentional with my name's on. So,
Yeah. Oh, hello. I like that. Be very intentional on what your name is on, period. Because you are the brand.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, I like that. So on that note, where can we find you? Of course, all your information is going to be listed below. But let people know where we can find you. Let anybody know if you have anything upcoming that or you want to share, or any lasting or ending messages.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at obstacles with an S under recovery, all spelled the correct way. Um, Facebook as well, but most of my content goes to Instagram. And if you're on TikTok, you can find me on therapists like you. Yeah,
Mm.
therapists like you. And I do have a workshop January 18th. We are going to do a part two, well, not even a part two, but like a running it back, arts of saying no workshop. A lot of people ask me to do it again, so I'm going to do it again January 18th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a virtual event, so you could be anywhere in the world.
Nice. We're going to make sure that she's giving us the link because I'm going to definitely make sure I'm putting it out there. And we cannot wait to see that and your book. Because you got other people looking at you waiting for this book. So we cannot wait to read it.
Yes, thank you. I will let you know if you are in the mood for affirmation books or a journal. You look for a new journal,
Mhm.
or if you're a parent who is looking to support their child and their well-being, I do have 3 mental health wellness resources. The affirmation book filled with over 100 affirmations, affirmation coloring book for children 1 through 7, which work focuses on sight words, penmanship, phonics, and representation, and also a gratitude journal that has challenges to help you foster gratitude.
Yes. I'm like, we're going to plug all three of those books. Let's not skip past over that.
You.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You
Which
got
I think she is the cookout. Not even being invited. Hello, she comes with it all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you all. If you stayed here the entire time, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next episode.